Setanta Sports.
Suddenly, Aston Villa doesn't seem quite the happy club it's been most of the season, and the manager's had plenty on his mind.
It'll fall for Cahill, and that might very well be Everton through the last 8 of the FA Cup. Oh, lovely skill from Lampard, delicate touch on as well. Super football from Chelsea.
Time for a rethink. Big names are rested this week as Villa head to Moscow for a rematch with CSKA.
Slips in Vagner love. First chance for him. Can he finish? He can. Was there ever any doubt? And now Lahore being directed on target. For Young. And now Gardner. Now Carew. And now the equaliser. And it is beautifully teed up for the second leg.
Is it advantage CSKA already? It's 1-1, but it's Villa who will need an away goal to stay in the UEFA Cup, and they are on that artificial surface at the Zhirkov Stadium. Kick-off is just a few minutes away, but is Martin O'Neill already looking beyond this one to what remains of the Premier League season, and is he right to make the trip this week without 8 recognised first-team men? Brian Little and Brian Kerr both know how hard it can be to get good results over there at the best of times, but is there any doubt at this stage that Villa are making sure they stay in the running for a Champions League place next season?
Yeah, I think it's top 4 or bust at this moment in time, and it's not just advantage CSKA. I think it's 40 love at the moment, and you know I think Martin has not hidden this week. I think that the 3 previous results, Everton, CSKA, and the Chelsea game, have really sort of focused his mind very much on what he has to do for the remainder of the season.
Is he right?
Well, he believes that's the right thing to do, and I think knowing Martin as I know him and knowing the faith that people around Villa Park have in him, then I think he knows he's got the backing of everybody. They do have back-to-back games in the Premier League against Liverpool and Man United away, but outside of that, every other game they play is pretty winnable. So I think he sees the top 4 slot as being his ultimate aim. Are
the signs, though, Brian, that they are wilting, Villa?
It would appear to be the case in the last couple of weeks, but they were very hard games. I mean, Everton, a difficult team at any time. Chelsea, a little bit of momentum with hitting coming into the club. They're probably a bit unfortunate to be playing them at this time, but again, we see the problems in the centre-back position.
He said they were leggy early on in the game, the weight of fixtures.
Well, when you get done in a big match, you're inclined to look for some excuse to protect the players. That's Martin's way. He never has a go with the players. I think they were outplayed in the middle of the field. I think the system didn't work. Brian, when we were here last week, said he felt they're much better when they play 3 tight together, as they will tonight. I think Chelsea's formation at the weekend, they were found short in the middle, and Chelsea played through them. But, you know, it's understandable there would have been some tiredness, but when you look at the team he's putting out tonight, it's totally different attitude to the team he played in the first leg, where it was near his best team.
It's 8 in all who've not made the journey. What kind of a message is that sending out?
Well, I think exactly. You know, to repeat myself, it's these lads are needed very much for the campaign in the Premier League, and they're going away today, and it's a artificial pitch, and he doesn't want injuries to any of them. I think he's still...
It's some insurance policy,
I think he's still disappointed at Heskey coming back from a game that he didn't need to play in and was injured. And I think he sat down, thought about it, and he's laying his cards firmly on the deck for everybody to see.
I guess as a manager yourself, the other thinking, the other way of approaching this is to say, well, what a genius I'm going to look tonight if we pull this off.
But the back 4 looks sound enough. I know we've talked about Davies and Knight making some funny decisions, but it's a very experienced looking lineup. The midfield 3, they actually won the game in Prague in November with that midfield 3 of Sidwell, Gardner and Salifou, because Martin has been nonchalant about this competition right since the start, and that was probably a surprise win at that time. It's the other 3, the young lads, Albrighton and Bannan, Delphineso. We've seen him score a couple of goals, and you know, that's where the real weakness is in the team, and it was a little bit of lack of respect for the tournament.
I think that team will want to play though, Brian, as well. I think these young lads will want to play in the game, and you know, if you'd shown the plastic surface to Emil Heskey, for example, I think his mentality would have been, oh, this perhaps isn't the right game for me. So, you know, in that respect, you've got to go down that road as well.
Anelka and Drogba had a field day against the Villa rearguard at the weekend, Brian. Wagner Love is the top scorer in the entire competition with 9 in the UEFA Cup, including the one in the first leg. Well, I think you were drooling over him.
Yeah, well, I watched quite a bit of goals he scored pre this game, and I just got a feeling he would have got a chance in that game. He drifts around people, plays 1-2s well, and if you look at this goal here in this game, and Anelka's goal as well, 1-2s tend to catch out the two big centre-backs on occasions, and this fella is really exceptional at doing that and finishing with either foot, so he will be a major threat once again this evening.
Brian Little thinks they're hot favourites. Do you agree?
Yeah, yes, you have to. I mean, they were the only team that went through the group with gaining full points. They're playing at home. I know they're still slightly out of season, but given that Villa had a very strong team last week, a lot of possession, a lot of threat from the crosses, but the players who were putting in those crosses aren't playing tonight. Given Villa couldn't beat them with that team, I can't see them beating them tonight with this team.
Thank you both. Stay with us, please. Kick-off is just a couple of minutes away.
The Carling Cup Final, live from Wembley Stadium this Sunday morning on Setanta Sports. Alex Ferguson will be looking for his 31st trophy when Man United take on current holders Tottenham. The Carling Cup Final, this Sunday morning at 10, live on Setanta Sports. Escape the cold this winter and join the soccer resort and Setanta for a tournament in the sun. Travel to Sin City, play in a national tournament by day and taste Vegas by night in March, August or December. Play New York for St. Patrick's Cup. Join us in Montreal for Memorial Weekend while playing teams from around the world. Don't just watch, play with the Soccer Resort and Setanta. Visit soccerresort.com for details.
Stephen, you'd have to say that the refereeing's been shocking this year in the Premier League.
Kenny, shocking would be an understatement. Hey, I'm Stephen and he's Kenny, and we are World Soccer Daily, America's only national daily radio show dealing with the beautiful game. Hey, check us out every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern on Sirius Satellite Channel 125, home of the Premiership and the Champions League. And if you can't catch us live, go to iTunes and check out the podcast, keyword World Soccer Daily. John in New York, what's up?
SoccerCorner.com rocks. Low prices, no membership fees. Everything you could want. Footwear, replica, goalkeeping, accessories. They even take care of your team. Don't waste time anywhere else. SoccerCorner.com. Check out the new 2009 products in stock now.
Passion. It's what soccer is all about. Challenger World Tours can show you the places where it all began. Experience the game, traditions, excitement, training sessions, international tournaments and stadiums. Embrace soccer in a whole new way and elevate your team to new heights. We'll handle the details. You enjoy the trip of a lifetime.
Oi, you! Call yourself a real fan? You want to check out the new Setanta.com. With the biggest interviews, round-the-clock video, as well as the top stories as they break. All available at full screen quality. It's the new home of live sports video on the web. Plus, there's no better place for you and your mates to join the debate. So if it's happening in sport, it's happening at Setanta.com.
Watch live and exclusive coverage of the IRB Sevens World Series on Setanta Sports. 16 of the world's best battle it out to see who can topple title holders New Zealand and become series champions. IRB Sevens World Series, live and exclusive on Setanta Sports. For scheduling and information, visit Setanta.com. Live RBS Six Nations Rugby this weekend on pay-per-view on Setanta Premium and Setanta Broadband. Live RBS Six Nations Rugby this weekend on pay-per-view on Setanta Premium, Setanta Broadband and delayed on Setanta Sports.
So on Setanta Sports, Hull City and Sheffield United is live this evening after we finished with the UEFA Cup tie in Moscow. Already fixed up for the 6th round weekend, Coventry City against Chelsea on March the 7th. That's the first of 2 live games on Setanta Sports that day. Later, Fulham against Manchester United. And on the Sunday, Arsenal and Burnley settle their 5th round business first up. And then it's Everton and Middlesbrough in another 6th round tie. That's on the Sunday. Here we are in the Luzhniki Stadium then. CSKA Moscow and Aston Villa in the UEFA Cup. Round of 32. 1-1 from the first leg. And for commentary, Lou Macari and Des Curran.
The Luzhniki Stadium was the venue for 2 English sides battling it out for the Champions League crown 9 months ago. For tonight's sole English participant, not much of the excitement and anticipation that surrounded last May's decider. Realism and not defeatism, according to Aston Villa boss Martin O'Neill. His priorities this season all too apparent ahead of this second leg in Moscow. And not alone has the Villa manager left 8 senior players at home ahead of Sunday's league meeting with Stoke City, but the Premier League side also, of course, have to come to terms with the Luzhniki Stadium's artificial surface. This is the scene you might remember of England's damaging Euro 2008 qualifier defeat to Russia 16 months ago. You can add in sub-zero temperatures and a CSKA side that showed some real touches of class in the first leg despite their 11-week layoff. And it is a massive ask for the Premier League outfit. Having conceded at Villa Park, they must score tonight if they hope to advance to a meeting with either Tottenham or Shakhtar Donetsk. And at present, in those 2 ties, it's very much advantage Russia and the Ukraine. There's our match official. Tonight from Germany, Felix Breitsch, who has taken charge of Liverpool and Tottenham in European competition this season. And our captains, Luke Young, you will see on the right-hand side, wearing the armband for Villa this evening. In his opposite number, 22-year-old Igor Akinfeev, young in years, but a vastly experienced goalkeeper on club and international level. Well, Zico defending his unbeaten record as CSKA coach. 1 played, 1 draw, and very much hot favourites to advance tonight. Strong team out as well. Same cannot be said for Aston Villa, who include in their starting lineup 19-year-old Mark Albrighton for his debut on the right side of midfield, we believe, and Scottish teenager Barry Bannan making his first start on the left after a 30-minute substitute appearance in Hamburg. Nathan Delfonso, you might have caught a glimpse of, 18 just 3 weeks ago, chosen ahead of Marlon Harewood. John Carew incidentally travelled with the 19-man party, but isn't involved tonight. Also starts for fringe players Nicky Shorey and Mustafa Salifou as we get underway. -2 in Moscow. Will Villa be frozen out of the UEFA Cup this evening? Here's Delfonso straight into the action. And now Salifou. And through the back line, all the Villa players anxiously to get an early touch here on this surface.
Well, without a doubt, Des, I think they've got two big problems tonight, Villa. One being the opposition, good side, CSKA, Moscow. Second one, the pitch that you've mentioned. You're not used to playing in AstroTurf, you do find it strange.
Well, even some of the CSKA players who've been playing here for 7 and 8 years are wearing ear warmers and gloves and whatever they can get hold of. One change, incidentally, for them from the first leg. Yevgeny Aldonin, who took a knock late on and was substituted with just seconds to go. Doesn't make it, or at least isn't risked by Zico tonight. So Davies Semberas, who was suspended for the first leg, he's available again, and he comes into the side. Straight swap, though. Semberas, usually known as a defender, can play in midfield as well if needs be. Guzan down the middle. And now they've worked it out to the left-hand side. Shorey. Here's Salifou. Delfonso, knocked off it by Alexei Berezutsky, who for one will be happy that Ashley Young isn't involved this evening. Here's Zhirkov and Ignashevich, and all the way back to Akinfeev. If you're looking for positives from a Villa point of view, then their away form this season certainly stands up. 9 wins from their last 12 on the road. And they've scored in 18 of 21 away games. They must register this evening at least one. And CSKA and their supporters, who have turned out in good numbers tonight, they'll fancy their chances of going a long way in the competition this season. They'll start their league campaign in a little over 2 weeks, and hopes very high in these parts that fresh legs could take them all the way to Istanbul on May 20th. Istanbul, May 20th, lose something, going by his team sheet at least, that Martin O'Neill has given up on.
I don't really understand it, guys, to be honest with you. You enter the competition to go to Istanbul in May, and all of a sudden you're leaving half your team at home. It certainly hasn't gone down well with some of the Villa support. There's been nothing arms this week about it, and Martin needs a result here tonight.
Well, in and around 300 have travelled from Birmingham. Martin O'Neill has said he will speak to them, he will address them about his policy this evening. It's a European campaign that began in the Intertoto Cup at Odense on July 19th. It has seen Villa win in Denmark, in Iceland, in Bulgaria to reach the group stage, where they won in Prague and lost in Hamburg. But have they thrown their hat at this? Martin O'Neill has been mentioning the Prague game, Lou, as one where they went out with a lineup not too dissimilar, albeit without a couple of the 19-year-olds, and won the game. But that said, CSKA are at least one step up, aren't they, from Slavia Prague?
Well, you would think so, but you just never know in this UEFA Cup, does. Sometimes, even with a weakened side, the home team may just be a little bit slack and thinking they're going to win this game in a canter. Don't really see it that way. There's a game on.
We've heard that John Carews' problem, why he isn't involved tonight, it's a back injury. Maybe he didn't get much leg room on the plane on the way over. Jason looking cross, that claim by Akinfeev. Big night, particularly for the two young men playing wide for Villa. Mark Albrighton, England under-18 international. Barry Bannan, Scottish under-21. Bannan up against this man, Milos Krasic, this season Serbian full international.
Well, those two young lads that you just mentioned, there's playing in that midfield. They've got plenty of support in there, 3 other players in there to give them the support, but the lad I feel sorry for is up front, Delfonso, playing up there on his own. Certainly not easy at this standard of football, especially for a player who's barely played for Aston Villa. He needs support, and just noticed the first ball that went up to him early in the game, had no support, pushed off the ball, and CSKA, Moscow rather, came on the attack right away.
From a physical point of view, he'll certainly be up against it, Delfonso, with the two Berezutskys and Ignashevich back there. That was Alexei Berezutsky's header. Here's Bannan. Krasic will get there. We've spoken about the artificial surface and the role that will play, Lou. You have to say it's a far cry from Luton, QPR and Oldham, isn't it? Slightly better these days.
It's slightly better, but when you're not used to playing on it, you do find it strange. I'm sure Villa trained on it last night and tried to get used to it, but it takes more than one night's training session to get used to artificial surface.
Don't Most clubs have these smaller, albeit artificial areas in their training complexes.
They do, Des, but they're all different. You know, some are, when you take Oldham, for example, you mentioned that's a completely different surface to QPR. I'm sure the surface here tonight is different to both those.
Here's Bannan. High catching for the reserves this season. A bright start from him on this left-hand side. Certainly looks full of aggression and full of intent. Berezutsky's header away. And here's Dzagoev. And assisting some real classy glimpses from the 18-year-old at Villa Park in the first leg. Now Lukian. And Alfonso was allowed to put his foot on that, and Gardner, well, it was there to be hit. And a bright start from the Villa second string.
Just once again, when that ball's played up to Delfonso, the only option he had was to actually play the ball backwards. No teammate playing alongside him.
Roman Abramovich, you'll have seen, has made the trip back to his homeland. Remember, part of it is once again to try and squeeze the arm of Yuri Zhirkov, the left-sided midfielder for CSKA. The Chelsea rumours continue. They persist even stronger now with Hiddink bolstering the Russian connection in West London. Zhirkov and Vagner believed to be two targets. Here goes Vagner. Looked like there might have been a foul there on Curtis Davies, but with the ball running through to Brad Guzan, the referee happy to let this one go.
I think it's a foul against Vagner. Referee says play on.
9 goals for Vagner in 7 European outings this season. Here's Salifou. Looking for Delfonso. He needs to be more accurate than that. Krasic. Now Rahimic. Looking out left for Zhirkov. And Albrighton got a good foot in. Now teed up for Zhirkov again, who shows good pace to get there. Guzan out smartly at his feet though. It will be a CSKA corner.
It's a poor back pass from Curtis Davies that's led to this corner. Zhirkov for the jinking run.
And it's going to be Zhirkov himself to take this corner. Some obvious targets to aim for include Berezutsky by 2, and there's the header flashed over by Vasili Berezutsky.
There's half a chance for Berezutsky from the corner. Really is a poor header.
Perhaps that ear warmer didn't do him any favours there. They have been in Moscow before in European competition. They drew 2-2 at Spartak Moscow in the second round of the UEFA Cup all of 25 years ago. A scoreline tonight like that, of course, would be enough to put them through on away goals. Here's Alfonso. Ignashevich right at his back. Lukian. Sidwell takes a step backwards. Receives, and now on to Shorey. Krasic was coming to engage him. Rahimic without his usual partner tonight, Aldunin. And do that job once more, just in front of his back four. Curtis Davies forward. And now Delfonso. Knocked it onto his own ball there. Once again, the CSKA back four deciding not to come out and challenge. Shorey's little header picked up by Sidwell. Now Bannan looks for an over the top, a very inviting ball as well. Looks like he's got a decent left foot, Barry Bannan.
Okay, Villa, opening 10 minutes. I'm sure that man will be quite content. with what he's seen from his makeshift side.
It's that night climbing and easily winning against Vagner Love. Is there the danger that CSKA, knowing what Villa brought with them, might be a little complacent, might think they're already there without doing the work? Albrighton puts the ball in. Alexei Berezutsky heads away and picked up by Semberas. Now Dzagoev. To Shchennikov. Villa might have 19-year-olds, but Shchennikov, the youngest on the pitch at 17. Ignashevich away. Albrighton seen off by Shchennikov. Now Vagner Love, first chance to get it to feet. Lovely little reverse ball inside to Krasic. Now Alexei Berezutsky might have more opportunities to get forward from right back now that Ashley Young isn't occupying him. Dzagoev. And Rahimic. Villa filtering everyone bar Delfonso behind the ball here. Semberas. Berezutsky. And they make so many changes as well in situations like this. Where communication has to be key, doesn't it? These guys don't often play together.
Well, they've got 9 men behind the ball, 9 white shots there for Moscow to break them down.
And they'll have to pass on the information, pass on the runners, let everyone know who's where, who should be picking up who. Let's run you through what it might have been for Villa tonight, barring injury, and those left at home. Friedel, Rio Coker, Cuellar, Larson, Bauma, Milner, Petrov, Barry, Ashley Young, Heskey and Agbonlahor. We can expect most of those to feature against Stoke at Villa Park on Sunday. Away by Ignashevich, flick from Semberas. The only one there is a man in white though, Curtis Davies. And now Bannan. Nice little touch inside. Delfonso was clattered, but only after Bannan was fouled.
There's 2 fouls here. There's the first one. Second one coming up. Tackle from behind on Delfonso.
Maybe Martin O'Neill has targeted Alexei Berezutsky. Tormented by Ashley Young. Maybe Bannan might have some joy out there on Villa's left flank. There he is as they go short. Now Bannan opts to put it in. Clearance comes only as far as Delfonso. Now Shorey. Crossing chance. Favours his left foot, comes back. Bannan. Delfonso hooking it goalwards. Be short in terms of star names. They're holding their own at the moment, Aston Villa.
Yeah, Odiah's doing exceptionally well, and got a shot on the turn there from Delfonso, lacked the power, but at least they're getting the ball into the box.
No doubt for some of the players out there in the Villa lineup, it's a matter of pride too. They'll have read the headlines, they'll have read the fact that everybody's writing them off. They've got no chance with the team that's been put out. To prove something. Here goes Krasic. Taken down by Gardner. Gardner on the Villa side and Zhirkov on the CSKA side. A caution away from missing their next European game, should they get through, of course.
Shot on the turn from Delfonso. Makes decent connection, but certainly not going to worry the goalkeeper.
Some defending for Villa to do. How can CSKA manage here? Coming across towards Alexei Berezutsky. Good piece of defending from Shorey. He's leaned in and made life difficult. Can he guide them to European glory like Gazayev did in 2005, the first Russian side to win a European trophy? They did that the hard way. Sporting Lisbon in Lisbon. 9 of the side starting tonight. played some part in that final. Lukia squeezes it up the line. Albrighton. He's going to be able to chase that himself. Davies, not too clever there, and Vagner almost taking advantage. We saw examples of that in the first leg. Knight and Davies do have their moments.
Just looking at this Villa team, there's the one thing they've got to do tonight in the 90 minutes is get a goal from somewhere, and I'm just looking to see where's that goal going to come from. Delfonso playing up front on his own, and evidence in the first 15 minutes, and I'm just seeing a long ball played up to him, and no support whatsoever.
Dzagoev's layoff, fizzed inside, it goes beyond Krasic, picked up by Vagner. Free forward. Will he pick any of them out, or will he opt to go it alone? Late challenge there. Referee was allowing the advantage. Now he brings it back. And this is a decent position now. Wasn't a clever challenge, was it? Salifou jumping in.
Sorry, Des. There's been one or two rash challenges already, and fortunate thing is referee keeping his yellow card in his pocket. But I think the next clumsy challenge, that card will be out. Silly free kick to give away in a dangerous area.
Vagner grateful that that means moulded studs. Would have been left with something far more painful otherwise. Now Ignashevich, Zhirkov, two of the options here. It's a big wall assembled by Bradley Guzan. Well, he was confident, or at least seemed confident, that Dzagoev's effort was carrying well wide. The replay could give us a better indication as to exactly how well placed that confidence was.
It's not that far wide, and warning to Villa there not to give away free kicks, especially in that area, 20 yards out.
CSKA's 18-year-old. Burgeoning talent, the Russian League's Young Player of the Year last season, Dzagoev. The youngest outfield player to be capped by Russia. The youngest player to be capped full stop is his goalkeeper, Akinfeev. Sidwell gets it to Salifou. Layoff is a decent one from Gardner. Here's Albrighton. Taking on Shchennikov. Final touch was the Villa man's. Shchennikov looking down the line, good flick up, and here goes Vagner. Taking on Curtis Davies, and got his body well positioned. Sidwell's let that run though, and Villa just about got away with it. Guzan bowls it out to Shorey. The longer it goes at 0-0, the more Villa get used to the surface, get used to how their opponents play on it.
You ever get used to it, Des. 90 minutes football, just not long enough. Strange surfaces, the AstroTurf, and I must say the Villa coping quite well up to now.
It's made for players you would think like Barry Bannan. Low centre of gravity, good close control. Cover the ground smartly. He's enjoyed his opening 20 minutes so far here. Launch long, meat and drink for that night. Sidwell asking a lot there of Albrighton. Albrighton's little touch. I think he was trying to link up with Gardner, but CSKA have it back. Not for long though. Loose touch from Semberas. Martin O'Neill, I'm sure, would have set certain targets during the game. He's past 20 minutes, heading quickly towards 1/4 of the game gone, and they haven't conceded, which would have been priority number one. Try and get a foothold in the game. As Lewis already reminded us, they do have to score at some stage.
Another priority for Martin would have been giving away of free kicks there, especially around that 18-yard line. Really told his players, stay on your feet, don't make clumsy challenges. Already we've seen a couple up to now.
And the selection policy is certainly something that he can justify if they do go on to qualify for the Champions League. Remember, if they do finish 4th in the Premier League, they'll have to go through the qualifiers. And as several sides have experienced in recent seasons, big name sides, you don't always get an easy draw there. Everton will testify to that. If it does go wrong, from a manager that led Celtic on an epic UEFA Cup journey back in 2003, I would imagine there will be questions to answer. Knight leaning in over Vagner. He's back for more. And that's ended up on the ground. Krasic going on. Vagner on the spin. Knight is still on the deck. And only now getting gingerly to his feet. Vasili Berezutsky forward. Shorey running in bounds. What's he going to do now? Looks it over his shoulder. Flick on from Gardner. And now Delfonso. He's done well there against Alexei Berezutsky. Doesn't get the free kick he's looking for.
Oh, he's crying out for support there, Delfonso. Morey ran with the ball, looking for a teammate. Nobody in a white shirt appeared.
What do you think Martin O'Neill is looking at now, Lou? Lost 3rd place to Chelsea. Do you think he's looking at that 4th now at Arsenal 6 points adrift, or does he think they can get back into that back 3 or the top 3 in automatic qualification?
I think he's certainly looking at 4th spot, Des. I mean, Arsenal have made so many mistakes in the last 2 or 3 weeks and given Villa that opportunity. And Martin wants to take that opportunity. That's why the players that you just read out, he's left at home, getting them ready for Stoke City. And he'll feel if he picks up 3 points against Stoke, 1 game less to play, he'll hope that gap between them and Arsenal can even be extended over the weekend.
The games are fast running out for Arsene Wenger. A dozen remaining. And you look at Villa's next 5. Stoke home on Sunday, Manchester City away, Tottenham home, and then 2 massive ones, back-to-back away fixtures at Anfield and Old Trafford. Here's Dzagoev. Too many white shirts to get beyond. And a touch from Gardner. And now Albrighton asking Delfonso to have a run. All alone. Vasili Berezutsky again standing off. They're wary of the pace, I'd imagine, of Delfonso. Who looks to the heavens. Nice pass, acknowledged by Villa's teenage striker.
Once again, Des, he had to wait and wait and wait and look for a teammate. And had he been playing up front alongside somebody, there'd been somebody there, in a 1-2 possibly round the box. The longer he waited, nobody appeared, gave the ball away.
Several times. 3 players, senior players injured, and 8 first-teamers left at home. I wonder if there was a slight balance that could have been struck. Could he have gambled on bringing a couple more? Did bring Carew, but a back injury, we believe, has ruled him out tonight. Could he have taken the risk with a couple of more senior players? We're hoping come the 90 minutes it won't be a case of that might have made the difference. Akinfeev, flat, but well taken in by Zhirkov. Now Rahimic. Dzagoev. There's two to the left, one is Shchennikov. First chance to advance from left back, and showing good pace as well, the youngster. CSKA have another corner.
I haven't really seen a great deal of the home side, but I'm sure there's more to come. Good run there from Shchennikov.
Guzan trying to organise. He's got Albrighton on one post, Shorey on another. Berezutsky has already flashed one header over. It was Rahimic that time at the near post, now picked up by Bannan, who's been knocked off it. Villa can clear. Semberas. Long ball over to that left-hand side. And Zhirkov will take the throw in off Lukian. Here's Krasic. The room ahead of him this time goes on the outside. Alexei Berezutsky going beyond Rahimic, and Shchennikov had to step in. Now Shorey. Sidwell. Albrighton, difficult ball to take under pressure from Shchennikov. And now it's Dzagoev looking for love to release the striker early. Zhirkov taking over. Now Krasic buys himself a yard, slips it into Vagner Love. This is where he's dangerous. Villa players converging on him. Needed support, found it in Zhirkov. Some desperate challenges from the Villa defenders. The last was by Salifou, and the latest by Curtis Davies.
Well, certainly there's some desperate defending, but there's plenty of white shots back there, plenty of numbers. There hadn't been, that could have been the opening goal. Certainly the home side trying to make it difficult for the away side trying to make it difficult for Moscow. Plenty of white shots behind the ball.
Of interest, are they going forward? Salifou out to Albrighton, inside to Gardner. Salifou once more. Some of the players that, like Salifou, just one appearance in the last 2 months. This is his 9th appearance of the season. Albrighton in his senior debut. Bannan making his first senior start. Alfonso, his 9th appearance of the season. The question's always going to be put about CSKA yet to start their season, that they mightn't have match practice, match fitness, but some of the Villa players haven't played in the first team a lot, some not at all, though.
That's right, I just think maybe the home side looked at the Villa team and thought, Albrighton, never heard of him. Bannan, who's he? Delfonso, haven't heard of him. Salifou, haven't heard of him. And maybe have approached this game a little bit too confident, feeling that they're just going to stroll to a victory. But Martin's got his team wound up, he's got them getting behind the ball, making it difficult for CSKA.
Erkin and the rest of the CSKA subs, including Carvalho, came on for the last 10 minutes at Villa Park. Zhirkov certainly has options if he needs them. Krasic setting his sights, it's cannoned off Curtis Davies. So again, all alone up there. Nice touch from Shchennikov, but seized on by Salifou.
Sometimes in an away game, you get the impression that the referee is going to be a bit of a homer. And certainly not the case tonight. I think the refereeing up to now has been okay. Made the right decisions. Certainly not favouring the home side by any means.
Guzan has been well protected. Not too many worries for the Villa backup goalkeeper so far. first 30 minutes, CSKA looked more of a threat at Villa Park in the first leg.
He thinks he's going to be easy sitting there with a big cigar. And
doesn't look too bothered, does he?
He doesn't. We've already had a look at the bench, one or two players on the bench laughing and joking. This may be a little bit more difficult than they thought it was going to be.
I wonder after the first legs over both nights last week if they were already thinking of a big game to come against Shakhtar Donetsk, which would be a big one in this part of the world. They certainly hold the advantage against Tottenham. And two of the Premier League sides will be going out in those two games. Rahimic heads again towards that near post. It's beyond him, and the header. Vasili Berezutsky again.
That's two headers in this game for Berezutsky, and both have been poor. This one off target, last one no power behind it, that was off target as well.
Goal from CSKA in almost 32 minutes. Sure, they'd have expected more. A little short goal from Gardner. And that three-man midfield seems to be the one getting forward most in support of Delfonso.
Gardner complaining about that decision. Don't see where he's got to complain. Blatant push in the back.
There's Vagner love. Bounce might favour the goalkeeper. It just about did.
Unfortunately, Vagner love any touch on that ball. He just had taken it past Guzan.
Good work there from Delfonso. Now Albrighton is running. Can he keep it in play? He can. Gets his cross in as well. Great work by the youngster there. That's the problem is when you don't have a Carew or a Heskey in there, though. It's not very well getting crosses in. You need someone on the end of them. Dzagoev on to Krasic, who started brightly. Lukyan's clearance comes only as far as Shchennikov. Dzagoev. Alexei Berezutsky heading towards this back post again, and this time he's won the header, and it needs an intervention from Shorey. Berezutsky gets his cross in. Guzan seems to believe it had gone out of play first, but I don't think it had.
That last attack that Villa had, here's the chance for Vagner. Doesn't make some contact, better contact. That ball would have been past Guzan. Just going back to that last attack that Villa had, it was a wonderful cross into the box there, but as you say, in there, young Delfonso all on his own, not the biggest of centre forwards. The move comes to an end.
Delfonso on it now, who's 3 Villa goals have all come in cup competitions, 2 of them in the UEFA Cup. Playing a difficult role tonight, he's shown it pretty well so far. Hoisting it towards that penalty spot where it's met by Ignashevich. Now Zhirkov. Dzagoev. Not going out of play on the far side. Semberas. Takes it back from Krasic. Alexei Berezutsky. It's been an interesting ploy to push him forward as much as possible on the right, because certainly anything in the air up against Bannan and Shorey would be a strong favourite. Semberas will chase this. Has he the pace to get there? Davies just cleverly shepherds it out of play.
The only concern for Villa at this stage of the game, Des, would they tire in the second half, working exceptionally hard to get behind the ball. Midfield players dropping deep, making it difficult for the home side, but can you do that for 90 minutes?
It was mentioned about Heskey before the game, about, you know, artificial surface. Would he fancy it? What do you think Zach Knight is feeling? 6'6". Not the easiest of surfaces to turn on, is it?
Yeah, it's a problem for big players, but they've coped quite well up to now. Go back to the point I made earlier, guys, they need a goal to stay in this game, or to stay in the tie. They need a goal. No signs of a goal at this stage of the game.
There's Gardner, teeing up Sidwell. It is promising from the point of view of the 300 or so supporters who have travelled, as a side that has gone out there, have gone out to play. Welcome when they've had the opportunities. Delfonso, though, just does need that little bit more support.
I just expect a little bit more from Steve Sidwell from that position.
Which means Guzan can't pick it. Good clearance though, clears halfway. Ignachevich's header. Turned by Davies, then Semberas. A little bit ahead, Dzagoev touches it down. Vagner love, now Zhirkov. Dzagoev again. The referee not buying that, as he put his leg into the Villa player and then went down. A good piece of refereeing again, Delfonso. Just needs it to be a little more accurate than that.
This is good refereeing, Des. Normally the roar of the crowd is enough for the referee to blow his whistle. He's having none of it.
Zico would have loved an early breakthrough goal just to take the heart out of some of the young Villa players. It hasn't happened. Wagner love playing it through. Good clearing header from Davies. Shchennikov. Ignashevich. Squeezed by Gardner, now Shchennikov. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Good pressure from Villa. Erkin backpedaling. Picked up by Dzagoev. Albrighton back working. Half-time has to be the next target now for Martin O'Neill. Rahimic. Never scored a European goal, didn't fancy taking this on. Will he now? He will. Maybe that's why he's never scored a European goal.
Once again, the closing down is good from Villa. Not giving the home side time on the ball. 4 wide shots round them, letting them shoot early. It's been good from Villa up to now. Can they keep it going for the second half?
It's definitely a better surface than Oldham. You don't need a skin graft when you make a slide challenge like that, do you? Magnificent stadium, wonderful setting, even when not full. What a result it would be for Villa if they were to find a way to squeeze through this time. So far they're holding out, approaching 40 minutes of the first half played.
Instructions there coming from Martin to get people behind the ball. In fairness to his team, they've done it brilliantly in the first 40 minutes of this game, especially the 2 young players. Albrighton on the right, Bannan on the left. Big game for the 2 of them. Working the socks off.
Based on the first 45 minutes, we might be seeing a little bit more of those 2 between now and the end of the season. Salifou earning the attentions here of Felix Bright. Semberas.
I think the ref saying to Salifou, next time you're in the book, benefit of the doubt I'm giving you.
second. Dzagoev trying to dig it out. Cleared out by Curtis Davies. This time. There's an opportunity now for Zhirkov. Get this into the area for the Berezutskys to wander forward again.
I said this referee's done well. There's plenty of opportunities to book players, especially Villa players, but he's let them off. He's given them the benefit of the doubt. The one thing you don't want to do as well, get a yellow card, and especially the defender, you're walking a tightrope for the remainder of the game.
Organisation key here. Between them just sorting out exactly what has to be done here. They do have time to sort it out as there is an injury for Salifou. Caru's absence, just 6 subs for Martin O'Neill, one of course being Stuart Taylor, the sub-goalkeeper. Then there's Kieran Clark and Shane Lowry, 2 untried 19-year-old defenders. Isaiah Osbourne played just 80 minutes in the last 4.5 months for the first team. Eric Leachai, the defender, has been uncapped, and Marlon Harewood. Guzan, good take. That's the other factor, Lou, we really haven't spoken of. If it goes well and they get into the last 20 minutes and it's still there for them, he doesn't really have anyone to spring off the bench, Martin O'Neill.
There's a set to bring Marlon Harewood on at that stage, Des. If a goal's needed, and well, a goal will be needed, that's when Harewood will come on the scene. Bustling type centre forward. This surface would be ideal for him.
Without goals, sorry Lou, just won this season against Lutex Lovech in the early stages of this competition as Gardner is off and running. The only one of the substitutes, obviously with many of them having yet to play a senior game, to have scored a goal for Villa this season. Semberas and Alexei Berezutsky, and Vasili Berezutsky back to Akinfeev.
I think the only way we won't see Marlon Harewood tonight is if Villa go 1 goal up. I want to make sure he packs that midfield even more.
He's counting Martin O'Neill on not picking up any injuries this evening. Albrighton is showing some good work again out on that right flank. I wonder if he thought when he made his senior debut as a teenager that he'd be older than the player marking him. 2 years older than Shchennikov. Put in by Luke Young. Here's Bannan, lovely touch, Gardner, but the flag is up against Barry Bannan. Great finish from Gardner, but it won't count.
Hesitation from the referee's assistant, that flag went up straight away.
Hopefully we'll get another look at that. That's tight, isn't it? To the other end, and Vagner Love can't afford to give him time and space. Big question remains, should Villa be in front?
This fella certainly is the danger to Aston Villa tonight. Vagner Love can strike with his left foot or right foot. Powerful run. Oh, just off target.
Well, the record for goals in a UEFA Cup campaign held by Jurgen Klinsmann with 15. Vagner Love threatening his 10th there. There's still a long way to go in this season's competition, providing they can negotiate the rounds. Strong favourite starting tonight. And they do have the advantage with that away goal from Vagner Love at Villa Park from the first leg. 1-1 on aggregate. So they are in the box seat, but I'd imagine they'd have expected it to be far easier in that first half. And under-strength Villa have been valiant and have been very much up for this. And at 0-0 at half-time, still very much in it. Goal disallowed late in the half is the first half talking point for Martin O'Neill. The UEFA Cup dream is still alive. Half-time, CSKA Moscow 0, Aston Villa 0.
And in truth, CSKA, nothing like as dangerous as they were at Villa Park. Maybe Martin O'Neill will be bouncing up and down after all if Villa can keep it going.
Super 14 Rugby continues this weekend live on Setanta Sports. We kick off Friday morning at 1:30 at the home of the champions as the Crusaders take on the Hurricanes. Then Saturday morning at 1:30 the Chiefs host South African giants the Sharks. And at midday the Stormers go head-to-head with the Blues at Newlands Stadium. Super 14 Rugby this weekend live and exclusive on Setanta Sports. Minute Soccer Magazine, America's premier soccer publication, featuring hard-hitting editorial, explosive action photography, cutting-edge design, and exclusive interviews. We guarantee you'll love it. And now, Setanta Sports fans can get a third off the annual subscription price. Simply log on to 90soccer.com/Setanta to subscribe for your discount. 90 Minute Soccer Magazine, the choice of people who know the game.
I just want to have fun. I want to learn new tricks and skills. I want to take my game to the next level.
I want my kid to have the best possible soccer experience.
I want to make every child a better player.
Discover a camp where you get all this and more.
SoccerCorner.com rocks. Low prices, no membership fees. Everything you could want. Footwear, replica, goalkeeping, accessories. They even take care of your team. Don't waste time anywhere else. SoccerCorner.com. Check out the new 2009 products in stock now.
Welcome to Football Matters. Football Matters here, bringing you the very last word on the weekend's action. I don't care, just get rid of it. That's brilliant, Harry.
Very good. We'll be here on the sofa every Monday night throughout the season.
I missed it. I've never used the sunbed.
Yeah, you're a liar.
Now, we're not all talk here on Football Matters. There's plenty of action too. Money does bring success. Crashing down to earth like Russell Grant on a bungee.
How cool is that?
All because Football Matters every Monday night on Setanta Sports.
Football matters because I matter.
The Carling Cup Final, live from Wembley Stadium this Sunday morning on Setanta Sports. Alex Ferguson will be looking for his 31st trophy when Man United take on current holders Tottenham. The Carling Cup Final, this Sunday morning at 10, live on Setanta Sports. The Barclays Premier League this weekend live on Setanta Sports. We begin Saturday morning at 7:45 when Everton hosts West Brom at Goodison Park. That's followed by Middlesbrough versus title-chasing Liverpool. And then Sunday morning at 7:30, Man City visit Upton Park to take on an improving West Ham. The Barclays Premier League this weekend live on Setanta Sports.
We have live Premier League football for you this coming Saturday afternoon. Middlesbrough hosting Liverpool, 2:30 is the start time. And more on Sunday, Bolton-Newcastle. Looking further ahead into the month of March, the Setanta Sports Premier League lineup is like this. Arsenal-Blackburn on Saturday, March the 14th. The next day, it's Chelsea against Manchester City. And the following Saturday, we have 2 live games back-to-back. Fulham, Manchester United first up, followed by Newcastle against Arsenal. Basically, it's all those Premier League rivals that Aston Villa have spent so much time worrying about in the build-up to this game. But why worry? The youngsters have more than played a part, haven't they, here so far?
Well, they've been very good, Paul. I mean, I'd have my doubts before the match, and I'd like to see young players going into the same. But the 3 young lads up front, they've worked very, very hard indeed. The whole team has been very disciplined, but they've been particularly clear of their role and delivering on that role. You see Albrighton here, wonderful control, gets around Shchennikov, not such a great cross and not exactly brilliant targets in the box. Here Bannan picks up the ball, he plays a delicate one, trying to find Gardner's running into the box. But they've all shown composure on the ball and a willingness to take the man on when they get a chance. You see Albrighton again here, comes on the inside, trying to pick out one of the front players, doesn't quite make it. And it can be difficult to pass on this pitch. It doesn't always sit properly for you. This is Alfonso here, shows a bit of enterprise, gets back in, I think it breaks for him, and eventually there's a shot. When the cross comes in, he catches around the volley, doesn't catch it as well as he might. But they've been a threat right through the half and been composed in defence as well.
Brian Little, is this gone better than you might have dared to hope for?
Well, I said before, I felt the team he's picked is a team that would be competitive, that would be very willing, would be more difficult to break down than perhaps playing some of the senior players on an awkward surface. What the big problem will be, obviously, is trying to score a goal. But in Delfonso, they have somebody who has a reputation of getting a goal out of nothing. So, you know, they could pull it off. But I think basically they have been very disciplined, very organised, and only set-piece situations have CSKA had any sort of sniff at them at all. There was one, this is the one thing where, this is the man who I genuinely fear. I think Vagner has something different about him. He potentially can cause the 2 big centre-backs a problem because he goes both ways, works around the shoulder and will get the odd shot on. But you have to say at half-time, the dressing room that will be happiest at this moment in time will be the Villa dressing room.
We can't speak too much about what lies ahead for the rest of the season for Aston Villa, but in the longer term, these are academy products developed by Aston Villa, some of these boys, thrown into it tonight.
There are
Speaks well for what's going on at the club, doesn't it?
9 youngsters in this full setup tonight who've at some stage come through, well, certainly come through the academy. So they've always had a good reputation. They get the Youth Cup finals on a regular basis, do very well, and have produced regularly. And when you go on beyond these lads, this is why Gareth Barry's so held in such high esteem at the club. He's come all the way through. And qualifying, you know, if I just change track a little bit, qualifying for the Premier League in 4th place also helps to keep Gareth Barry at that football club.
You're not claiming, you're so modest, you're not claiming any of the credit for the Villa Academy system.
Well, I know the lads who work there, and, you know, we all put it together, but no, they do all the hard work. I was involved in the original setup, but Brian Jones and his crew have all worked very, very hard.
Not many following Aston Villa to Moscow this evening. In fact, they brought just a few hundred hardy souls, but they might be going home happy. We don't know yet. They still need that goal, remember, Villa, but it's been good so far.
The Barclays Premier League this weekend live on Setanta Sports. We begin Saturday morning at 7:45 when Everton hosts West Brom at Goodison Park. That's followed by Middlesbrough versus title-chasing Liverpool. And then Sunday morning at 7:30, Man City visit Upton Park to take on an improving West Ham. The Barclays Premier League this weekend live on Setanta Sports.
Stephen, you'd have to say that the refereeing's been shocking this year in the Premier League.
Kenny, shocking would be an understatement. Hey, I'm Stephen and he's Kenny, and we are World Soccer Daily, America's only national daily radio show dealing with the beautiful game. Hey, check us out every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern on Sirius Satellite Channel 125, home of the Premiership and the Champions League. And if you can't catch us live, go to iTunes and check out the podcast, keyword World Soccer Daily. John in New York, what's up?
SoccerCorner.com rocks. Low prices, no membership fees. Everything you could want. Footwear, replica, goalkeeping, accessories. They even take care of your team. Don't waste time anywhere else. SoccerCorner.com. Check out the new 2009 products in stock now.
I just want to have fun. I want to learn new tricks and skills. I want to take my game to the next level.
I want my kid to have the best possible soccer experience.
I want to make every child a better player.
Discover a camp where you get all this and more.
The Carling Cup Final, live from Wembley Stadium this Sunday morning on Setanta Sports. Alex Ferguson will be looking for his 31st trophy when Man United take on current holders Tottenham. The Carling Cup Final, this Sunday morning at 10, live on Setanta Sports.
Oi, you! Call yourself a real fan? You want to check out the new Setanta.com. With the biggest interviews, round-the-clock video, as well as the top stories as they break. All available at full screen quality. It's the new home of live sports video on the web. Plus, there's no better place for you and your mates to join the debate. So if it's happening in sport, it's happening at Setanta.com.
Just joining us, we are in Moscow this evening with Aston Villa, where it's 0-0 against CSKA. It's 1-1 on aggregate, therefore, so technically the advantage remains with CSKA Moscow, Brian, but it could get nervy for them, couldn't it?
Yes, I think their approach, you suggested it before the game even, that they may be a little bit complacent looking at the Villa's lineup, and I would think Zico was very disappointed with that first half performance. The only threat has come from the set pieces. We've not seen anything of Zhirkov at all yet. Very little from Krasic or Dzagoev. A couple of little bits of Vagner love. I would imagine Zico will be demanding a much higher tempo from them and higher pressure game. But again, it goes back to Villa, being disciplined, organised, getting players behind the ball and getting their foot in when it's counted and making the tackles at the right time. So, you know, you must respect what Villa have done, but I would think that CSKA will up the pace a little bit more, even though they don't need to score a goal.
That's not a very easy position sometimes to be in, though, is it? With, say, 20 minutes to go, and you know that if it just stays the same, you're through. But you do expect a little bit better from a team like this, with their reputation.
The one thing that CSKA will know is that they're playing against a team that is predominantly young players who won't give up. So, you know, if it's 0-0, technically you get later in games and you know what the opposition are about, and you can see whether you're bossing your way through. These young lads won't stop trying or giving up, and I think in that respect, you know, that the last 15 minutes would be more nervy for the CSK side than...
And notwithstanding the reputations, Brian, the term you use there, bossing, you would expect them to be bossing this, and they're not.
No, they're not bossing it, and as Brian said, Zhirkov, who has a good reputation, he has a good reputation, really has flitted in the game on one occasion for me, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing him play. And before the game, again, we were talking, saying, oh, I'd like to see Zhirkov just because you want to see a good player play, but done nothing tonight. No.
What about the shape of CSKA? Might we see a change or two?
I think that's their lineup. I mean, whether they have some options to go with another stronger man up front beside Vagner. I think the pitch is holding them up a little bit. The ball is not running as true for them as I thought it might on the artificial surface. But I think they've got other good options. I just expect them to start putting a little bit more pressure on, because their supporters would expect that in the home game. Villa can afford to sit as they are, as long as they don't concede a goal, and give it a lash, give it a go in the last quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, to chase that vital goal that could get them through.
What a surprise that would be, though, eh? Thank you both. Back to Lou and Des.
Well, Semberas and Krasic still not looking too concerned, but Zico, their manager, who walked out not looking best pleased with his side's first half showing. For Martin O'Neill, though, who were given no chance. And the first half went exactly to plan, I would imagine. And now it's part for Plan B of Mission Moscow. Find themselves a goal to that end. Here comes Marlon Harewood. Once a dangerous striker at West Ham. I think you'd have to say his career at Aston Villa has stalled. But he is on now for the second half.
Well, I think maybe that was always the plan, Des. Bring him on, they need a goal. As poor as he's been at Villa Park, it can't happen for Marlon Harewood.
It's Mustafa Salifou, who took a knock late in the first half. He has gone off. And we'll wait and see if it will be two out-and-out strikers. It looks like Delfonso is staying up there. He's used Delfonso in wide positions already in this competition, Martin O'Neill. Will the substitution work for them or against them? Here's Wagner Love. Harewood straight into the action. Will give them that muscular presence, and if Bannan on one side and Albrighton on the other can find crossing opportunities, then Harewood should have the physical presence to do something with them.
Going to lose that little bit in midfield, five-man midfield in the first half. Now four of them in there, two young lads as well. Probably a little bit more punch up front.
It's Harewood's 40th appearance for Aston Villa, incredibly his 31st off the bench. And over the course of his Villa career, as Knight took a gamble, Harewood has managed a total of 7 goals, as we mentioned in the first half, just one this season. Could he be the man to act as the catalyst for what would be a sensational result here? It's his stab on towards Delfonso. Tagging up was Vasili Berezutsky, who really provided the only threats that CSKA could muster in the first half from set pieces. 2 headers, one over, one wide. Martin O'Neill, his man management skills would have come into play at half-time, just to give them now the belief that if we've got this far, 0-0, they haven't scored, they haven't seriously threatened, we could do this. The stand-in skipper Luke Young. Harewood wants a free kick, referee not interested. And then Zhirkov jumping in on Young. Felix Breich happy to let some of the more physical side of the game go. Harewood again. Now Albrighton will have a throw in. Big emphasis now as well, of course, with the change in formation on Sidwell and Gardner. 2-man midfield in the centre for Villa now, as against the 3 that Salifou augmented in that first half. And some sloppy CSKA defending means an early corner here for Aston Villa in the second half, and a chance for Harewood to make his presence felt that night as well. Curtis Davies too. Needs a good delivery from the left foot of Barry Bannan. Here we go then. Bannan swings it in. Akinfeev coming and gets 2 fists on it. Picked up by Albrighton. Bannan again. Young. Big men have stayed forward. Taken down on the edge, and swivelling was Gardner. Well, he had one in the net in the first half laid on, disallowed for offside. The second effort forcing a save from Akinfeev there to the other end. Krasic is in. Is this the moment? It's a terrible finish.
I think he was offside, Des. He looked offside, yards offside to me. Through ball, he's got a yard on the defender. It was a poor finish. This is Craig Gardner's attempt, wonderful control, great strike. Easy save for the keeper.
Now it's Harewood. Albrighton. Shchennikov digs out across as well, and Delfonso trying to make something of it at the near post. Vasili Berezutsky to clear. Zhirkov, only Vagner love up there. Coming onto it, Rahimic. Now Zhirkov. Dzagoev. Strong challenge from Gardner. He doesn't want to be carded, Craig Gardner here.
This is right in front of the referee, so I don't really know what Craig Gardner's complaining about. Slides in, slight contact. Referee only a couple of yards away.
Fraction outside the centre circle, Ignashevich surveys his options. Stands it up towards that far post, and Berezutsky again. And this time the decision goes Villa's way.
Up to now the referee spotted all those little infringements.
A reminder that Tottenham or Shakhtar Donetsk, the latter in the box seat from the first leg, await the winners of this tie. Extra time and penalties here at the Luzhniki Stadium if needed. 1-1 the only scoreline. After 90 minutes that could lead to the additional time. Vagner loves skipping away from a couple. Dzagoev digging it out. And then work left to Zhirkov. Vagner love again. Davies leaning in. And Sidwell to take it away. Albrighton asking Delfonso to run. Should have the legs on Rahimic. The veteran Bosnian midfielder got himself a yard or two head start. Albrighton. Looking out to Bannan on that left-hand side. Can he get there? The ball doesn't hold up on the surface.
There's the cameras. I've seen Martin O'Neill in a few months. Taking this game in his stride. Here's a chance for Craig Gardner. Good control. Lovely strike with his right foot. Yard on either side of the goalkeeper. That would have been in the back of the net.
Apart from the obvious reason of that progression, they need a big performance tonight. Winless in their last three, Villa, after just 2 defeats in the subsequent, the preceding 18 games rather, dating back to a league defeat against Middlesbrough back in November. Season that has promised so much, but out of the League Cup, now out of the FA Cup after losing against Everton. On the verge, unless they can find a goal here, going out of the UEFA Cup. Here's Dzagoev. Can't find a way to force it beyond that night. Zhirkov's little touch, and Vagner love. He's so alive, looking for something off the shoulder. Just went a fraction early.
I'm not so sure if he's offside here. The referee's assistant says he's offside, but I'm not so sure about that.
Rahimic. And Semberas. And Shchennikov. Lazy touch now from Zhirkov. He certainly hasn't fired so far. Made in studio at half-time. So much ability. Perhaps he's reminded his side seeker that they need to up it in the second half. Can't afford to take any chances. Here's Krasic. Shows it and then eases away from Curtis Davies. Well, Vagner love wanted it pulled across. Krasic saw the glory himself, but couldn't finish.
In fairness to Krasic, when you get into this position, you see the goals, you're going to have a shot. He has a shot right across the face of the goals, but Vagner loved going absolutely berserk with him. He wanted that ball squared back. There you see his view of the goal. You must shoot when you see the goal.
To be fair to Krasic, Luke Young was covering Vagner Love by the ball. By the time the ball would have got in there. Rahimic again heading away. Sidwell realised the positioning of Dzagoev. Here's Krasic. Zhirkov is the runner, and Zhirkov is onside. Is this the moment they've been waiting for? Yuri Zhirkov, good save from Guzan. Stayed big, the Villa goalkeeper. Without doubt the clearest chance of the game thus far. But Yuri Zhirkov a score in the 2005 final. Couldn't make it count. Berezutsky to Berezutsky. Semberas. Now Shchennikov. Just a little reminder for Villa to focus the minds again. Rahimic. Bannan gets a toe on it. And now Rahimic once more. Looks for Krasic. Tidying up, done by Steve Sidwell. Touch. It's an exquisite one, and then Shorey getting forward for the first time in the game from left back, but tracked all the way by Krasic. Now Alexei Berezutsky. Semberas, little 1-2. Coming inside, Dzagoev. Semberas. And on to Shchennikov. The miss from Zhirkov really summing up his game so far.
Without a doubt, there's best chance of the night. And what a wonderful opportunity it was. Really a bad miss from Zhirkov. Plenty of time, beat the offside trap, ball over the top. Nobody challenged him, nobody chasing after him. Just Brad Guzan to beat. Poor finish.
Well, no denying Zhirkov's talents. Perhaps could question his application tonight, like some of his teammates. In the 2008 European Championships Team of the Year, Yuri Zhirkov nominated for the Ballon d'Or.
There's that chance. Lovely ball over the top. Time, plenty of time to pick his spot. Nothing wrong with the control. Bad miss.
I wonder if Roman Abramovich, who's high up in the stands here, is re-evaluating now, maybe offer a couple of million less for him.
Gives him an opportunity to do that, doesn't it? 5 million less, can't finish.
And times are tough, even for Mr. Abramovich. Every penny saved is a good one. Luke Young again, right down the middle. Here comes that night. And flag is up.
Villa will rely on to get the goal they'll be looking for. Set plays, free kicks, corners, send the big men up.
Davies winning that over Dzagoev. Certainly no sign after the first part of an hour played of the slick and fluid CSKA that we saw, particularly in the first half at Villa Park. They take Villa far too lightly. Now they're struggling to get out of that mentality as Zhirkov curls one in. What a terrific piece of defending that was from Curtis Davies. Had to be as Vagner Love was sniffing.
He does well here, Curtis Davies. Awkward ball to deal with. He's got Vagner Love to worry about. He's going to make sure he doesn't miskick that into his own net.
Swinging corner, trying something different, Dzagoev. Zico, master in those situations, knows exactly how it should have been done.
All got the ability that Zhirkov does. If they did, they'd probably be playing elsewhere. Really is a wild shot from Dzagoev.
Imagine in his frame of mind now, Zico is tempted to put the boots on and go out there and show a few of them a thing or two. Silly now. That is silly. They're playing themselves into a corner when there was an easier way out.
It's interesting to see this one again. Is it a free kick? No, I'm not so sure there's any contact there. Steve Sidwell will feel disappointed with that decision from the referee.
The left foot of Zhirkov for the right of Dzagoev. He's unhappy with his three-man wall. It's going to be Dzagoev. Rolls it to Zhirkov. Another opportunity. Oh, he's hit that one. What a cracker from Yuri Zhirkov. Might have passed up a wonderful opportunity a few moments ago, but that one was unstoppable. Heartbreak for Aston Villa. The scenario stays the same, they still must score, but they're behind on the night and behind overall 2-1 now.
It's a well-taken free kick. Everyone's expecting this to be whipped in. Played short to Zhirkov. This time he does hit the target. What a shot. Back of the net. No chance for Guzan. Crowded box, probably sees it at the last moment, or only does see it at the last moment. Had Villa been cheated, Des? And that's a short of foul by Steve Sidwell. We'll get a chance to see that again.
It wasn't Villa the architects in a way of their own misfortune, because they had the opportunity to just clear it directly and they didn't. They held on to it, Sidwell in particular. Totally, they've been punished. Here's Zhirkov again. They're coming looking for a quick fire. Second goal in the evening to kill the tie off.
And as you said, though, Des, nothing changes for Villa. We knew before the game they needed a goal. Same situation.
Abramovich has checked it was out again. Another 0 to be added on. Challenge into the back of Dzagoev, who's back for more. And he left a foot in there on Curtis Davies. Virtuosity of youth, perhaps. And it's still a good half hour for Aston Villa to find that goal. Here's Delfonso. Shchennikov has been fouled.
They certainly brought the home supporters to life.
Launched by Ignashevich. For the umpteenth time in the air by Davies. Forward by Gardner. And Harewood's touch. Here comes Albrighton. And by Shchennikov, and Villa have this free kick. And you can see now exactly what they're thinking. Free kick right on the halfway line. They leave it again for Luke Young to hoist it right into that penalty area. And Harewood will look to make something of it. Well, he's tried something a little different now to Albrighton. He will put it in with that something of a better angle. The big men go up. And won it was Ignashevich. Here's Sidwell. Ignashevich there again. Sidwell going on. And the ball ends in a goal kick.
Sure, Sidwell will be disappointed at being involved in the incident that led to the goal.
It was a cracker, wasn't it? Fizz past Guzan before he could blink. Sidwell. And ball down. Dzagoev. The only sides to have held Aston Villa scoreless when Villa have been on the road this season. They had 21 away games and they've only failed to score at Chelsea and Newcastle in the league and at Doncaster in the FA Cup. 18 out of 21 scoring games away from home for Martin O'Neill's side. They've got to keep the belief that they can make that 19 and 22. Bannan hangs it up there. Shchennikov's header comes only as far as Albrighton, who puts it in early towards Harewood. Good piece of defending by Vasili Berezutsky. And the line from Shchennikov. Vagner Love coming in against that night. Hasn't been his night so far, Vagner Love.
Just going off the ball recently, Aston Villa. Some of the games you mentioned there, Des. Doncaster drew 0-0. You expect them to win that game. Drew 0-0 with Wigan. You expect them to win that game. On the form they were in, they probably expected to go to Goodison and beat Everton. And of course, that loss against Chelsea last week as well. So not in the best of form.
On the near side, you just look at the clock now. 25 minutes of the 90 remaining, and the Villa supporters, the small little collection over in that stand, would be thinking, oh, for Night Lahore to spring from the bench now, just something to give them that opportunity of getting that away goal.
I better hope CSKA don't get a second goal, because something before the game does that the Villa line-up didn't look as if it had a goal in it. Certainly if they went 2 down, just couldn't see where 2 goals would come from.
Do you think Martin O'Neill could have risked 1 or 2 more, Lou?
I think he could have risked 4 or 5 more. I'm not into all this, leaving people at home and playing with depleted sides. This is a massive game for a club like Aston Villa. And you don't go to Moscow with a weakened side.
I mentioned earlier, if you do finish 4th in the Premier League, the perils that can await you in the UEFA Cup qualifying round before you get anywhere near the group stage, and the riches that brings. Made room really well there. A good hit as well from Zhirkov once more. I've been warned.
Just starting to come to life, Zhirkov. Floating all over the front line. Another good strike with his left foot.
There's Vagner Love. Zhirkov. Semberas. Ignashevich. And Vasili Berezutsky. Krasic. Rahimic, Semberas. Plenty of possession football, patient football from CSKA. They know now they're well positioned. 1 more goal will seal it. Rahimic. Vagner Love. Knocked off it once more. Now Harewood. Vagner Love back to win it back. He seems to have been around in this part of the world for a long time, Vagner Love. Arrived in 2004, still just 24. As Krasic tries to slip in Dzagoev. Who's going to come knocking? Who's going to come looking for CSKA's Brazilian striker? They've lost Joe to the Premier League already. They lost Davies to the Bundesliga. What lies in the future for Vagner Love, I wonder? Krasic, one for Zhirkov on the left-hand side. Erkin getting across to him now. Certainly have seen the good and the bad from Yuri Zhirkov tonight. Puts the good on that stunning strike. It has CSKA a goal ahead and 2-1 up on aggregate.
As soon as CSKA dares you to fancy a full-strength Villa side to come here tonight and win this match. I don't think they've been brilliant by any means. But for me, too many players left at home, not enough strength in the side. And I said right from the off, young kid up front, left up there all on his own.
What do you think the players at home will be thinking, Lou? Because for many, would have played a long time and have played many years without ever experiencing European football. And as we said, no guarantees come next year about the Champions League group stage.
I think they'd want to have played in this game, Des. It's 90 minutes football, that's what you get paid for, that's what you enjoy. All right, it's a trip to Moscow, but it's a private plane. You're back in Birmingham area, probably early hours in the morning. 2 or 3 days in to recover before you play Stoke City. Don't see a problem.
Room full of physios and masseuses.
All them, yeah. Just don't see a problem, Des. Not happy with it at all. Same with Tottenham Hotspur.
Away by Alexei Berezutsky. Certainly UEFA Cup. Most will point to the fact that AC Milan are in it, but it's UEFA Cup that competition over so many seasons that has thrown up some surprise winners. You can get it together at the right time for the right games. You can go a long way in this competition, as CSKA showed in 2005. Harewood with more minutes under his belt might have been more allowed to that. There was a flag on this near side anyway, but you look at Harewood coming on. He's played just 20 minutes since starting the 3-1 defeat in Hamburg 10 weeks ago. There is the question of match sharpness, a question that's been levelled at CSKA, of course, being out of season really. Week to start in 2 weeks' time.
And that's why, Des, you've got to take advantage of all the things you've got going for you. And one of those things that certainly Villa had going from tonight is CSKA's lack of match action. You can catch them on the hop, I'm sure. A couple of months from now, they'll look a lot better side than they look tonight.
There is Krasic. He's looked lively at times. And now Semberas. Room on the right-hand side and a crossing opportunity. Alexei Berezutsky back onto his left foot. Zhirkov couldn't do anything with that. Hammered clear by Albrighton. Only Harewood up there against 4 in red. Shchennikov. It's coming from Albrighton. Gets a little pat on the back from his manager. Inside the final 20 minutes at the Luzhniki Stadium. Villa need a goal. Albrighton. Now Delfonso hasn't seen much of it second half. First into this is Sidwell. As the CSKA midfield goes momentarily absent. Shorey. Coming off that Alexei Berezutsky. CSKA in a muddle here. Here's Delfonso. Wouldn't come down for him. Now perhaps the break. Led by Dzagoev. Vagner love. Krasic over on that far side. Joining in now is Zhirkov at pace. His touch was a poor one. Albrighton asking Harewood to get on his bike. Has the strength to hold off Ignashevich. And he's won the throw in. Best we've seen from Marlon Harewood so far.
He's nudging his players to get forward.
Can they fashion a goal?
Get into right positions. The ball's got to get in the box. Don't overplaying out wide. Put pressure on the home team. Get the ball in the box, see what happens.
And if they go out tonight, Villa, for the likes of this man Albrighton and Barry Bannan, Nathan Delfonso, it's invaluable European experience for what they will be hoping are long and successful careers ahead. Kieran Clark and Shane Lowry, Lee Chai. Untested teenagers on the bench will have enjoyed the experience of coming to a city like this and a stadium like this. But they won't be enjoying how it's going so far, and Vagner Love looking to worsen the mood.
Makes a shoot at any reason to shoot here. Wagner Love really should have held it up, taking his time, not at the best of angles for a shot, getting closed down at the last moment. And if he does shoot, he's got to be better than that.
Comes off the head of Rahimic, forward by Semberas, meets it again. Krasic. They'll have to find the balance now between committing men forward, leaving themselves too exposed. Dzagoev. Wagner Love not interested in that. The other end with Albrighton. Close by Shchennikov. Puts it in towards Delfonso. Easy for Berezutsky though. Rahimic. Wagner Love sold the dummy beautifully, but Curtis Davies alive to the danger. Lovely little drop of the shoulder from CSKA's number 9. He was almost away. Soon leaves that night in the heat for his goal at Villa Park. And that's a clumsy one.
There's a clumsy one for Zhirkov. Not in a dangerous area though, he can afford to give away a free kick there.
For the yellow though, because as it stands and they are going through CSKA, he would miss the first leg of the next round. 15 minutes and counting as Knight gets the flick on, but too much on it for Harewood.
CSKA at this stage of the game to make Villa work exceptionally hard to get this ball back, keep contention with the ball, push it around and make Villa chase. They've had to chase most of the evening, certainly going to have to chase in this last 14 minutes.
Good header from Curtis Davies, helped on by Shorey. Turned by Gardner, but then he overran it. Asking, he didn't have better options further ahead of him. Here's Krasic for Vagner Love. Looks for Krasic again through the middle. Can he get there? He can. And he toe poked it goalwards with plenty of power, but straight at Guzan. Villa living on the edge now. As Vagner Love and Krasic look to combine once more. Rahimic joining in. Zhirkov leaves it for Shchennikov. Now Semberas. Alexei Berezutsky. CSKA contentious to pass it around, keep possession. Hold up the clock, which is very much in their favour. Scorer Zhirkov. Certainly if Chelsea do go for him, he's a value player, left back, left midfield. He can play as a left winger. Pretty much put him anywhere you want. Berezutsky across the face of goal, no one there.
Once again, they're getting wide, getting balls into the box. No one to take advantage of it. Good move. This was a good pass from Wagner Love with Krasic. Little toe poke straight at Brad Guzan. It could have been game over.
No No surprise really that Zico's side are getting some chances now, as Villa have to take chances. Guzan stays at home. Good header away. There's Delfonso. CSKA 4 back, Villa with just 2 up. And Delfonso running straight into Semberas.
CSKA. Every free kick is awarded, and they take their time, make sure they keep possession.
You wonder what options are left to Martin O'Neill, unless he doesn't really have anyone to bring off the bench, unless he decided something like throwing Zat Knight up front and just throw everything in there high. There's Knight, and he's more accustomed then, though, and he's lost out. Recovering challenge from the captain for the evening, Lukian. Krasic for Berezutsky. Semberas. Thrown in behind, once again is Berezutsky. This time, is there someone on the end of it? Sidwell was the man well positioned for Villa, but even he didn't know where it went.
It's been picked off a little bit too easily now. Aston Villa, lovely through ball. And Vagner love in the middle of that ball that reached them. That was 2-0.
If we are to have a second goal this evening, it could well be the killer second for CSKA. They're the ones creating the problems, finding these threatening situations. Krasic at the greatest of corners. And Zhirkov happy with Charm on their side to let it run out for a throw-in. Did well to get across in there, very tight situation. Here's Zhirkov, away from 2. Need support now. Comes back to Rahimic, on to Semberas. And running again is Krasic, very deceptive. Still going Milos Krasic, and teeing up Dzagoev, who just looked to place it in the corner. Well, Guzan was beaten on the hour mark by Zhirkov. This time, no way beyond the mass bodies back there. There's going to be another change from Villa as Osbourne to come on.
Well, it was a wonderful opportunity for CSKA. I don't know why Dzagoev decided to try and place it in the back of the net. Better off smashing it.
Well, smashing it, the tactic that worked for Zhirkov. Dzagoev is looking for something a little more subtle. Minutes plus whatever the referee chooses to add on for Villa to find the goal to force extra time.
They did nothing at all on in the first half there. As soon as the clock went 45 minutes, he blew his whistle.
The card is coming out here. Dzagoev cautioned.
Nasty one. Steve Sidwell again in the thick of the action.
Just out of this opportunity, we know where this is going. Right into the mix. Good header though from Vasili Berezutsky. In between Knight and Harewood. Taken play by Krasic. And left in there for sure, and it's been spotted by the referee. For Bannan.
This time tackle from young Barry. With a great deal of enthusiasm right throughout the game tonight. Just a little bit over enthusiastic there.
And it is a defender off, Curtis Davies. It's now Osbourne, the midfielder, to come in. Is it to be a joyous trip to Moscow yet for Villa? It will have to be a late show. Here's Harewood. Shorey got a little bit too much air on that, easy for Ignashevich. Dzagoev looking it forward to Wagner, who's offside. And immediately, that night puts his hand on the ball and then sets off for that penalty area. Will the ball arrive there? Luke Young has a look. Here we go now. This time it's Vasili Berezutsky again with the header away. First to it, Shorey. Now Bannan. Flips it inside Harewood and Delfonso. And it will come here to that night. Well, he wanted it to fall to a centre forward, not a centre half.
Oh, what an opportunity. Anybody really but that night in that position. Completely missed kicks.
He's got one goal this season. That was a late leveller against Arsenal. Never looked convincing there. He goes on with two men on the ground. Ignashevich runs it out of play. And the referee is going to have a look at the stricken two, one of whom is Shchennikov.
The trainer will take his time.
The second man, as you can see, is Gardner. This was the opportunity. Will this be the best they'll manage?
What an opportunity it was as well. Decent contact right in front of goals. Make good contact. That ends up in the back of the net. Anybody else does that night.
Contrasting emotions for the two managers this evening. Vintage from their side tonight, CSKA Moscow. I would imagine better to come as they get their league season underway, get that match sharpness.
Get as many free kicks as possible in this remaining 4 minutes. Aston Villa load it into the box, get everyone forward. We'll do it that way by giving away silly free kicks.
About that, it was Mark Albrighton with the hands wrapped around Zhirkov. Once again, CSKA back in possession mode. Flatman from Akinfeev for Sidwell. Delfonso. Just on his feet well, Albrighton. Alfonso going on the line to the products of that famed youth academy.
No messing, long throw into the box. Big guns are coming up.
Gardner hurling it in towards that night. Good piece of defending from the experienced Ignashevich. Foot was high from Albrighton, who having just committed a foul, is going to get a yellow card now.
His foot's up high and it's dangerous. Correct decision from the referee.
Both of the young wide men have been booked now, Barry Bannan and Mark Albrighton. But thoughts on their performances tonight, Lou?
Oh, I've got to say, they've been fully committed, haven't let the team down, and that is one thing Martin's got out of the game. Two young players have come through, performed exceptionally well, players for the future.
Forward by Luke Young, right by Semberas. Good men forward there, CSKA. Dzagoev's touch was a poor one, but Zhirkov's in here and looks for Vagner love now, or perhaps for Krasic. Between them, they've made a mess of it. And that was the ceiling of it there for sure.
And the ball just doesn't bounce kindly for them here. Initial mistake from Luke Young. Ball goes over the head of Vagner Love, and then Krasic. Ball doesn't bounce too kindly for him either.
For a substandard muddy pitch with a ball sticking in it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that Steve Sidwell foul again, Des, to see if Villa have been cheated out of the game tonight. This was separated the two teams, that decision from the referee. First impression, I've only been able to see it once. I thought I got it wrong. Interesting to see it again.
Still had to, and still have to score Villa. Shorey inside, Delfonso in the area and spinning well. Still Delfonso. Only two men over, Albrighton and Harewood. Well, that was an opportunity and one passed up. As we head towards 90 minutes played.
That was a great opportunity for Aston Villa.
Here's Osbourne. No overrunning that. Knight's header down to Young. They're not interested in chasing or closing down any ball forward, so Young launches one again. Harewood challenging. That is from Shchennikov, picked up by Rahimic. It's going to come back again. Albrighton. Harewood, he's run out of ideas. Luke Young again. Krasic wants this early. Vagner Love provides. Back to Vagner Love from Krasic. Villa have three men back there. Vagner Love holding on. Trying to do it all himself. It's end-to-end stuff in the closing minutes here. As Gardner lumps it forward. Ignashevich hooking it clear over his shoulder. Rahimic has put it out of play and Gardner will come forward. And they might look for something long here again. They're still not quite over the line, CSKA Moscow. Gardner feigning for the area, now picking out Shorey. It's a poor delivery. And now 4 forward, 4 on 3 here in CSKA's favour. Zhirkov coming looking for his second, and CSKA's second. Still Yuri Zhirkov, terrific save from Guzan. Villa still alive, but only just. Gardner inside, here's Osbourne. Striding forward. There's the experience of Ignashevich reading the ball to Delfonso. Coming out and finding Milos Krasic. Vagner Love. Is this their second? It is! 10 for the UEFA Cup campaign for Vagner Love. Well, for 92 minutes, a performance to forget from CSKA's Brazilian superstar. But he doesn't need too many opportunities. He's got the goal. CSKA have their second, and they are through. Villa's European adventure is over.
Well, that second goal was always coming, Des. Villa leaving big gaps at the back, pushing people forward, going for that equalising goal. They've been caught out here. Vagner Love, we haven't seen a great deal of him tonight. Give him half a chance with that left foot. It's past Guzan, it's in the back of the net. And Villa certainly out now.
I think Jurgen Klinsmann's seasonal record of 15 UEFA Cup goals could be well under threat from the dancing Brazilian. That's more like it, says his manager. And there is the full-time whistle. Mission to Moscow, unsuccessful for Aston Villa. A plucky display against all the odds. But it's the 2005 UEFA Cup winners who are through to the last 16 and a meeting with either Shakhtar Donetsk or Tottenham Hotspur. And if Villa don't make the Champions League come the end of the season, then some serious questions will be asked of their approach to the UEFA Cup and the team selections of Martin O'Neill. And some of the outsiders and some of the youngsters in particular showed up well this evening. Certainly no disgrace in defeat for them, but it's Zico's side that march on into the last 16 of the UEFA Cup. Final score on the night, CSKA Moscow 2, Aston Villa 0 on aggregate. It's the Russian side through 3-1.
Gasly, thank you very much. Simplifies it for Villa. 12 games to play, that's all, in the Premier League. And that is the sole objective left for Martin O'Neill and his team. You expected it really, didn't you?
Yeah, I think, as I said before the game, you know, the intentions of the rest of the season were firmly there. But in fairness to the team, you know, when they were out there and organised in the first half, they did pretty well. I think the difficulty for them was, you know, at what stage do we really try to get back and get this goal that we needed? And from there on in, I felt the second half, you know, was one-way traffic, and we could have seen 4 or 5 goals to the home side. They certainly took advantage of the game opening up, and that's when the quality players really showed what they were all about, and the young Villa team couldn't really stick with it from there on in. At half-time, Brian, you said CSKA should up the tempo, and they will get about this Villa side much more effectively. Is that what happened?
Yes, and Brian is right, but I'm surprised that Martin opened it up so early by putting Harewood on and going 4-4-2. I said I thought they might try to hang in 20 minutes ago. I know he hadn't got an awful lot of options, but here's the goal. He gave a strange choice from Guzan to pick out a player who was back to the play.
What's the foul been given for here, do you think?
Well, you know, Krasic went over very dramatically and the referee gave a foul. It was an unusual free kick this. Looks like he's going to shoot. The ball all jump. And they don't react to the second touch. You see, as he's coming onto it here, it looks like that Zhirkov's going to take the first effort at it. Not quick enough reactions from the
man on the end of the wall, Brian.
Yeah, of course, Harewood, but he's been dozy, probably dozy sitting on the bench, and he didn't react at all. He had responsibility. Look, he jumps up to get out of the way, and then he reacts too late. Gardner makes a bit of a go to get there. Guzan beating on his near post.
You normally have someone at the side of the wall looking for a little touch at the side.
Yeah, if you're expecting it to be an indirect one where it's played, but it always looked like it was going to be direct. So they caught them out, but still Harewood's reaction was too slow. He had to take responsibility to close it.
The way Sidwell got himself into position there to get on the ball and then give the free kick away, whether it was justified or not. Is that a question mark against one of the more experienced players in that Villa side?
Well, I think more often than not, you know, more games in a season, the goalkeeper would kick it long and the team would go out and you would just say start again, especially away from home. And he was caught out, and in fairness to Sidwell, he's a real honest player, isn't he? He's up and down, he has a real go, and he was caught out there, I think, a little bit unfairly by his keeper, but it might not even have been a foul, but you can imagine and you can understand why the referee gave it. Zhirkov, Krasic won the free kick rather than being given.
They were much better, actually.
Well,
CSKA,
they're a very, very good side. They've got some really good players, and they did open the game out a lot better. Wagner came into it with good movement. This fella who we expected to play well, and you know, you would have thought he could have scored there, which really would have set the second half off. Again, Krasic and him are very much in it there, Zhirkov. You know, the two lads in wider areas were very instrumental in them.
The midfield was much more open, Brian, the second half.
Right.
You see that as the play broke down. There's no Villa holding play at all. You'd expect a bit better from low. I don't think the all-weather pitch actually helps him here. I think to run the ball, making good connection. We see a lot of matches in all-weather pitches, and there's not an awful lot of goals in them. And here's another great chance. Pope did all right, Guzan there, stood up well, and overall in the competition he's done quite well, although the kick-out tonight proved very expensive and they conceded a goal on it. But they're far too open there, Villa. Once they started chasing the game, the centre-backs are all over the place again. Zhirkov, great opportunity here, and that was an excellent save just to keep them in it.
I think when you play an open game against teams like this is what they enjoy. This is what they're really good at. They're technically very gifted, and they have a man up the middle there who just feeds on the shoulders of centre-backs and always finds the space, and as I said earlier, has the ability to score with either foot. And, you know, he'll probably be disappointed he's only scored one tonight when you look at the little half chances he's been at. But, you know, he's a goal scorer, and they're a decent side.
And he's not finished in the UEFA Cup yet by any means from the look of it. From Aston Villa's point of view, it's Stoke City at the weekend, then Manchester City. But here's the thing, amid all the so-called fixture congestion, then they have an 11-day break before they play Tottenham Hotspur.
I think the pitch had a massive bearing on tonight, Paul. I really do. And I think the last week and the poor results, and I think psychologically Martin has looked at it and thought, I've got to give my players a breather. Now, whether we agree with it or not, and you can have this discussion week in and week out. You know, I was critical of Spurs last week, and today I'm obviously a little bit more defensive about Villa, which, you know, is probably more personal than anything else. But I think, you know, you go into competitions like that, and it is disappointing that you at some stage almost throw the towel in. But, you know, I know that at this moment in time, the next step on the Villa road to recovery is hopefully finish in the top four.
All right, Brian and Brian, thank you both very much indeed. Do please stay with us here on Setanta Sports. We have more live football immediately. The FA Cup, it's Hull City against Sheffield United coming right up here. And in the Premier League, Middlesbrough-Liverpool this coming Saturday from 2:30. More at the weekend, Bolton-Newcastle, Sunday from 12 midday. Thank you very much for being with us. Villa gave it everything they had, but I think we all knew what was likely to happen.
Escape the cold this winter and join the soccer resort and Setanta for a tournament in the sun. Travel to Sin City, play in a national tournament by day and taste Vegas by night in March, August or December. Play New York for St. Patrick's Cup. Join us in Montreal for Memorial Weekend while playing teams from around the world. Don't just watch, play with the Soccer Resort and Setanta. Visit soccerresort.com for details.
A new era on Setanta Sports. What a strike! There's a lot of football on Setanta Sports. Magnificent!
Watch live and exclusive coverage of the IRB Sevens World Series on Setanta Sports. 16 of the world's best battle it out to see who can topple title holders New Zealand and become series champions. IRB Sevens World Series, live and exclusive on Setanta Sports. For scheduling and information, visit setanta.com. Super 14 Rugby continues this weekend live on Setanta Sports. We kick off Friday morning at 1:30 at the home of the champions as the Crusaders take on the Hurricanes. Then Saturday morning at 1:30 the Chiefs host South African giants the Sharks. And at midday the Stormers go head-to-head with the Blues at Newlands Stadium. Super 14 Rugby this weekend live and exclusive on Setanta Sports. The Carling Cup Final, live from Wembley Stadium this Sunday morning on Setanta Sports. Alex Ferguson will be looking for his 31st trophy when Man United take on current holders Tottenham. The Carling Cup Final, this Sunday morning at 10, live on Setanta Sports.